It starts with mouth like this, and that canal is a tube, and so it bends downwards. After bending downwards, it will come further down, crossing the chest area, and then the food will come to the stomach. The stomach is made up of smooth muscles. As I told you last class, stomach is muscular. So it can contract and it can relax. So if a food particle is present, now food particle I'm making it as yellow color. Inside the mouth, food has reached. What all happens inside the mouth that we have to see. So first we'll start with the mouth itself. What all are there inside your mouth? Now this is your lips, okay? And we have the teeth inside. Teeth is there inside. Then what? Very good. Tongue is there inside. Wait, Parani has entered. What is the real name of Parani? Parani, one girl, I think. Who is that? Ajay. Okay, okay. All right. Now we have reached no tongue area. Yes, very good. Tongue has got taste buds. This is taste buds. And anything else is there in the mouth? There is one liquid. Yes, yes. They have a liquid inside the mouth. This liquid is called saliva. And as you told, saliva is secreted by a gland which is called salivary gland. This is the muscular tongue. We also have teeth. Now we learn the importance of each of this inside the mouth. So first is mouth. Mouth is the organ. Mouth has got teeth. What will teeth do inside the mouth? What is the role of teeth there when you eat food? Very good. Teeth, yes, very good. Teeth helps in, note it down, okay? Teeth helps in your textbook it is written crushing. Teeth helps in crushing the food. You can also write grinding the food. It helps in making the big pieces of food to become small pieces. That mouth will help. Then, sorry, not mouth, teeth will help. Then we will come to tongue. What will tongue do apart from the taste buds? What will tongue do? Yes. Tongue helps in mixing the food with saliva. The food will get mixed with saliva. And tongue also helps in swallowing. Swallowing means the food has to come down the throat, no? That is called swallowing. That also tongue will only help you. Then next is saliva. As Deepan told, saliva is secreted by glands in the mouth, which is called as salivary glands. Secreted by salivary glands. But it is special. One is that saliva helps in mixing the food. Okay. Other than that, the saliva has something inside. Saliva has got enzyme. Saliva has got enzyme. And the name of the enzyme is salivary amylase. Salivary amylase. Now, the meaning of amylase. Amylase means the enzyme that break starch to sugar. That is why when you eat bread and when you chew for a long time, before swallowing, you can get sweetness in your mouth. That sweetness you are experiencing, it is because of salivary amylase enzyme. So first you will write the function of salivary amylase and then I will tell you what is enzyme. Okay, salivary amylase helps in breaking starch present in the food. So starch is a carbohydrate, but it is a complex carbohydrate. So salivary amylase enzyme helps in breaking starch into sugar. Now what is an enzyme? Because more enzymes you will come across as a food passes through the alimentary canal. Enzyme is called as biocatalyst. Enzyme is a biocatalyst. Then you got the word catalyst. Have you heard the word catalyst in chemistry? Acharan, have you heard about catalyst in chemistry when you are studying? Okay, then I will tell you. Catalyst is something that speeds up a reaction, speeds up any reaction. So, teeth as well as saliva, tongue can break big pieces of bread or starch, but it will become very slow in converting to sugar. If there is this catalyst, that conversion will become fast. It will speed up the reaction, no? That's why. And in chemistry, why I told is that uh, there is a topic called hydrogenation of oils. This only chemistry, okay? I don't know whether you studied this. Have you studied this topic, hydrogenation of oil into fat? No, no. Okay, you might study later. So, in the process of hydrogenation of oil into fat, so any oil like palm oil or anything, they will add into it hydrogen. So, oil is actually liquid, it is liquid in form. When you add hydrogen in that, that oil will become solid and it will become like butter, it will become like fat. But this is a chemical reaction, it will take long time to make it fat. If you add a catalyst into it, in the form of nickel, which is a mineral, in the form of nickel, if you put nickel into this reaction, then the fat will be produced faster. Here, nickel is a catalyst. So, this later maybe you will study in chemistry. The topic is hydrogenation of oil into fat. So, it is this fat that is added into bakery foods and all. It is cheaper, that's why. Understood, children, what is a catalyst? Catalyst is any chemical that speeds up a reaction. That chemical reaction, anyway, it will take place. But if it has to be speeded up, you can add catalyst. Clear, children, what is a catalyst? Yes. Now we are not talking about chemistry. So I am going to rub it off because we are going to talk about biocatalyst. Biocatalyst means there is catalyst inside our body. And here salivary amylase is one biocatalyst where salivary amylase will help in breaking starch into sugar. This reaction, breaking starch into sugar, that is salivary amylase work. Now, after this step, what happens? After this step, so now where is food? Food is still in the mouth. Yes, we have to make this food come down. So from the mouth, the food will now by this time food will be broken into smaller pieces. Still, it is big enough; it cannot be absorbed into the blood. Now it has to travel through this long tube. Do you know what is this long tube called as? This tube is called, yes, very good. It is called esophagus. Esophagus, there is no secretion or no enzyme and all, but esophagus will help in pushing the food downwards. Esophagus helps in pushing food downwards towards the stomach. Let me rub this mouth here. We studied mouth. Okay, I have something to talk about esophagus itself. So I told you esophagus helps in pushing food towards stomach. So the walls of esophagus is also made of muscles, and this kind of movement of food towards the stomach is called peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement means movement of food directed towards stomach. This direction the food goes. It is going towards the stomach. What will you call if the food is going in the reverse direction then? Sometimes it happens like that, no? What is that? Yes, yes, yes. Though it's not there in your syllabus, I'm just telling you. If the food is going in the wrong direction, opposite direction, then it is called reverse peristalsis. Hope it doesn't come. So, normal movement is called peristaltic movement, where the food is directed towards the stomach. Now, we are taking a large amount of food. Suddenly, the food should not get emptied into stomach. It will become a problem. So, there is one muscle here between the esophagus and the stomach. This muscle is called sphincter. S P H. PH stands for F, okay? Fur sound. Sphincter. So there is a sphincter, and what is a sphincter for? Sphincter helps in regulating the food. So sphincter muscle regulates means less quantity of food only will come into stomach. Regulates food entry into stomach. Like suppose if you're coming to the school, our security guard will be there. They will ask you questions. And after regulating only you're allowed inside the school, right? Because of corona. So like that, there is a regulator here in between esophagus and stomach too. And that is called as sphincter muscle. So even if you're eating large amount of food, all will not at once come into stomach. Little only will come into stomach. Now food is present in the stomach now. Stomach is muscular. Immediately as soon as the food enters a stomach's secretions will start mixing the food. Just like how mouth was mixing. Because stomach is having muscles, no? So it will start mixing the food. Rest what happens we will see. I'll write here. Next part is stomach. Our stomach also has got gland. Other word for stomach is gastric. So when you get stomach pain, when teacher asks you what happened, you might tell I have gastric problem, which means you have stomach pain. So there is a gland inside the stomach which is named after that, which is called gastric gland. It's called gastric gland. So gastric gland is present in the wall of the stomach. Here and all gastric glands are present. These glands secretes three things: A, B, C. First, it will secrete hydrochloric acid. What is this hydrochloric acid doing inside our stomach? It is supposed to be in biolab, right? Or chemistry lab, no? But no, little hydrochloric acid is there in our stomach. I'll tell you what is its function. First, we'll write the secretions. First is hydrochloric acid, but it will be dilute, not concentrated. Then there is mucus. You know, acid is not good, no? Somebody should be there to protect the lining of stomach. For that, mucus is there. Mucus is some secretions usually you can see when you're having cold, it comes out of your nose. cough, that time also you spit. That is mucus, okay? Then there is the enzyme. It's called as pepsin. Now we will come to the functions. Hydrochloric acid makes food acidic. Makes food acidic. Why it is making food acidic is to make pepsin activate. Just like if you're buying a toy car, if you the toy car is not having battery, it will not move on its own. The moment we put battery and operate it with the remote, you can see the toy car will start moving. That means you have activated that car by putting battery. Like that, pepsin is an enzyme. That enzyme, first when it is secreted, it is inactive. To make that enzyme active or to activate that enzyme, acid is required. So hydrochloric acid will help in activating the enzyme pepsin. Now what is pepsin going to do? Pepsin will help in digesting proteins. Digest means it will break proteins present in the food. Protein, digest protein into simple proteins. Simple proteins means small pieces of proteins. At first it was large protein, complex protein. Complex protein will be made into simple proteins. Now when you come into 11th class, you will learn the correct terms for this. Simple protein is called dipeptides. Now you're in 10th class, you learn it as simple protein. Now about the mucus. Okay, hydrochloric acid has helped in activating pepsin, but it is not good for our stomach's lining. Mucus will protect stomach's lining of the stomach from the acid so that we won't get any problem. Stomach lining from acidic effect. What if you don't eat on proper time? Now this is not there in your textbook generally. If you don't eat on proper time, what happens is that hydrochloric acid will be produced, but it cannot fall on the food, no? Food is not there. That means stomach is empty. Stomach is empty means hydrochloric acid will keep producing such a way that even mucus will not be able to protect your stomach. That is when you get acidity. Then you will have to have eno or something which is alkaline that can neutralize that acid. Okay, and you might have experienced acidity, children? Have you experienced acidity? Hello? Oh, good. That's good. That means you're eating properly. If you eat spicy, yes, spicy food also, you might get acidity problem. Okay, so these are the three secretions in the stomach: hydrochloric acid, mucus, pepsin. Function is like this: hydrochloric acid makes a food acidic, mucus protects stomach lining, pepsin digest protein into simple protein, complex protein into simple protein. Now we have to further move. The food is now in stomach still. Now the food has to come down. Food come down to the small intestine. This is small intestine. I'm rubbing this because small intestine receives secretions from two other glands. One gland is called liver, that is the largest gland in our body, liver. The other gland is called pancreas. So these glands will pour their secretions into the small intestine. Now we'll talk about that. First, we will draw the liver. This is the liver. Liver is triangular in shape. Somebody has come. Wait. Valarmati has come. Child, there is child Valarmati, in your class? Hmm. Okay. Ah. Now we have got the liver here. Liver. Liver secretes bile. Liver secretes a liquid called bile, which is green in color. Now, bile has got two functions. Bile makes food alkaline. See, it is the opposite of hydrochloric acid, okay? Bile makes food alkaline. Second function of bile is, this comes as a 2-mark question. What are the functions of bile? 1 mark, 2 mark, like that. Second function is, bile can break large fat into simple fat. Large fat into simple fat, but not so simple also. Large fat into simple fat. These are the two functions of bile. So bile will come out through one tube from the liver. This tube is called as bile duct. You read the lesson NCERT, okay? Sometimes na from my mouth na extra will come. That not needed that much for you. So bile duct, through that only bile comes, and little bit of bile will be stored inside a small part which is called as gall bladder. Gall bladder. So it is actually from the gall bladder, little by little bile will flow into the small intestine. See the green color. So bile will come into the small intestine. And you know that small intestine has just received acidic food. So that acidic food has to be converted to alkaline food. That is done by bile. So that is a function of bile. Now coming to the next gland whose secretion pours into small intestine. That I will color with yellow itself. It looks like leaf. This gland is called, what is this gland called as? Very good. It's called, yes, very good. It is called pancreas. Now remember, bile does not have any enzymes. It does other work. It makes the food alkaline and large fat into simple fat. Now coming to the pancreas. Pancreas juice is having enzymes and it will result in the complete digestion of our food also. So we'll write about pancreas. Pancreas pours its secretion into small intestine. First part of small intestine is called duodenum. Pancreas enzymes. Most important enzyme is trypsin. Trypsin is an enzyme. It helps in digesting proteins. Trypsin digests proteins. But only one problem is there. Trypsin needs alkaline medium. Means it can act on alkaline food only. So if the trypsin has to become active, then it needs alkali. Like pepsin was there in stomach, pepsin wanted acid to become active. Trypsin is present in pancreas juice as enzyme. If it has to start doing its duty of digesting protein, it needs the food to be alkaline. And you know who makes the food alkaline? Bile. So bile will actually help in creating alkaline food. So trypsin helps in digesting protein. There are more enzymes secreted by pancreas. The other enzymes are as follows. So trypsin is one enzyme. Second enzyme is called pancreatic amylase. Why I told you pancreatic amylase is because one salivary amylase is there that is present in the mouth. So that is why this is an amylase produced by pancreas. So we are naming it as pancreatic amylase. But the function is the same. What is the function of amylase? That same function comes here also. What is the function? Very good. Breaking. Which food down? Three. Yes, very good. Starch. Yes, good. So amylase digests starch into sugar. Now, the third important enzyme present in pancreas secretion is lipase. You know, fat is otherwise called lipid. From there only this word called lipase. So, lipase will digest fats, but it can act on simple fats only. So, it can act on simple fat only. So, who will make the large fat into simple fat? Who is doing that work? No. Yes. Very good, Sureka. Very good. Bile has already converted large fat to simple fat. Yes. Good, good. Good, Dharini Dev. Good. So, lipase will do one thing. Lipase can further digest that simple fat. Okay, lipase can break down further that simple fat. It will act on the simple fat. So now the food is partially digested. Food has reached the small intestine. After the food has reached a small intestine, it has received the small intestine is very long. Last class I told you that is also told you whether it is herbivore or carnivore. That also I told you last class. Herbivore or carnivore? Harish. Yes, Harish. Yes, Harish. Deepan, very good. Long small intestine. Mhm. Long, long and fast. Okay, I'm going to draw this small intestine. So small intestine is very long like this. And in case of herbivores, the small intestine is longer. Herbivores have this have to digest intestine because herbivores like cow, goat and all, they have cellulose in the grass because digestion of cellulose needs small intestine because digestion of cellulose takes why they have longer or shorter small intestine because they feed on meat and meat is tender. Tender means soft, digested fast. That's why carnivores have short. Now I told you about bile. Apart from that, small, they also internal juice enzymes will just complete digestion takes place. Means complete breaking down take place. And will become plus if it is simplified, it will get fats will be broken down to simplest fat acid plus glycerol. So what are the substances which is absorbed are these. So complete digestion will take place in the small intestine. After that, no more digestion. Digestion starts in the mouth and it will end up in small intestine with all the enzymes. With the help of bile, with the help of pancreas enzyme, and with the help of enzymes in intestinal juice. In such a way that carbohydrates will get converted to glucose, protein's final product is called amino acid, fats will get finally converted to fatty acids and glycerol. Our food is in the simple form now in the small intestine. But children, now it is time 12:06 and you have to take rest to go to the next class, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We'll continue the next class, okay?